Hi, I'm Abby and I'm a Year 13 history student at the Norton Matchball School. I joined the school at the start of Year 12 and I also take A-levels in Geography and Politics.
Hi, I'm Luke. I'm Year 12. I joined in Year 7 and I'm studying A-level history along with A-level politics and economics.
I've been studying the course for over a year and a half now. I've learned a lot about the Wars of the Roses, which begins in 1450, and so far we've got up to the early 1480s. I've learned about the battles that have taken place, along with the monarchs at the time, Henry VI, Edward IV, and now Richard III. We've learned about gruesome battles, pirates, courtly politics, foreign policy, wars with France, wars with Scotland, rebellions against the king, rebellions against other nobles, and I've learned how to write essays in a number of different styles. In the Russian course, we've covered 1855 up until the start of World War II. We've covered 3 Tsars, Stalin, Lenin, and a number of revolutions, studying huge changes in the economic, society and politics of Russia across the course, as well as being able to write essays in a number of different styles for this area as well. We've also done coursework, which is 20% of the A-level and is a 3,500 to 4,500 essay on America's foreign policy during the 20th century.
So far in history I've only been studying 2 terms, but in that time, in those 2 terms I've learned about the War of the Roses, for example the context of the 100 Years' War, the causes of it, from the weaknesses of Henry VI and the disputes at the court, and early clashes between the Yorkists and the Lancastrians. We've also learned about the key players, so setting the stage for what would happen later on in the 1450s and 1460s, and we've learned about the key events from 1445 to 1461. The War of the Roses course is much more a contained course. You go from event to event, so it's more month by month, so you can learn multiple things that happen in each year, and there are a lot of, and for example when you're using these things in essays, it's much easier to pull historical events from in your essays. In Russian history, we start from Russia in the mid-1850s, from its defeat in the Crimean War, and so far we've gotten up to the 1905 revolution, and in that time we've witnessed how Russia changed from Alexander II to the early reign of Nicholas II, and this Russian course is much more about breadth, because you learn about things that happen over about so far only 60 years for me, but over 100 years of Russian history, and you learn about how Russian society, how Russian politics, and how Russia in many ways changed during that time period.
What skill have you found most useful from A-level history so far?
For me, I would say that the most useful thing about history is how it teaches you to think about things. For example, in essays, the main thing is to focus, for example, sources. You have to think about why they said something, what was their aim, who is saying things, and it really helps you help develop your critical thinking, which is useful for history as well as other essay-based subjects like politics and English literature. But it's also much useful in other aspects of life that don't even involve history. But what would you say is the best qualities about history A-level?
The best quality about A-level history here is that you learn to analyse pieces of other people's writing in ways that can show you hidden aims and motives in the pieces of writing, and what this can mean in terms of its historical context. And by learning about this, you're able to put this into your own writing and improve your essays.
But what about the difficulties or the things that you might have to overcome?
The difficulties in A-level history are learning how to take huge amounts of knowledge across many different areas of the course and making them into concise arguments in an essay, and conveying your understanding of an event or a person or a series of changes in one area of history, and how this can have wider effects and what the real causes of these effects are. And though that's difficult, with the help of the brilliant teachers, it becomes much easier. The teachers here are really supportive and understanding, and they'll always help you and help you get to higher grades. What are you most looking forward to studying in the course?
Well, I think the thing that I'm most looking forward to is what most people look forward to, especially when studying Russian history, which is the 1917 revolution, the October Revolution, things like that, because of how widespread the impact was even to this day, and it's really one of those defining moments in history that you really want to learn more about, even if you've only heard it in passing.
Thank you for watching this subject presentation on A-Level History at the Norton National School.